Hey y'all, this is Cyndee. I'm the Tireless Tangler. I want to welcome you back to my channel. Today we are doing ornamato. This is what it looks like. It's a pretty ribbon tangle, and this is one of the Zentangle original patterns, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really simple, and let's get started. So today I'm going to work on an original Zentangle tile. This is done on gray. I just was ready for black and white today, so let's see how it goes. This is ribbon. Now, if you're a beginner, you may want to slow down and keep your ribbons straight for now, and then if you're a little bit more experienced and you feel like you can handle it, if you want to do waves or circles or whatever you want to do with yours, it is fine, okay? So I don't think I'm going to use borders today, but I'm going to draw a pencil line for a string that's kind of wavy. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. And then I think I'll do another one like that. Okay, and I'm going to use these as the outer edges of my ribbon. So let me find my 01. So this first part is the hardest for me, which is getting some straight lines that aren't straight, right? So to begin with, I'm just going to ink in, and apparently not exactly, this penciled line. And I think I will work this ribbon this way. So I am going to draw a thin, nice aura, as nice as I can make it. This is the part of this tangle that I really struggle with, is the nice little aura lines. But I am going to try not to sweat it. And then I'm going to come over here and make my other side. So I'm going to want to curve this one. We're basically auraing or outlining . All right. Easy does it. All right, well, that's acceptable-ish. And so here I'm going to come out here . You can make these whatever you want. Again, if you are more comfortable making those straight, do that. This is a tangle that for years I struggled getting a nice result from, simply because I don't know what my block was about this, but lately I have not been having that much of a problem with it. So now I'm not making mine too wide, otherwise your orbs are ridiculously large. It's almost time for him to come home, buddy. Be patient. So the wider you make it, of course, the larger your orbs are, and you know, if you're cool with that and you're good with that, then go for it. I found this easier if I make the ribbons a little narrower. And I suppose I could put another one that goes underneath over here, but let's worry about this first. Let me step this out on this edge right here that's more straightish. So the next step is to fill this with orbs, and what you want to do is touch the top, touch the bottom, and make a pretty orb, as pretty as you can make it. Now, note of caution here, you don't want to overlap these. I mean, you can on my example. See, I got a lot of overlapping that I didn't intend, so I'm going to try, I'm going to try really hard to not overlap my orbs. And just take your time. Go slow. Whoa, that looks like a teardrop. And do a better job than me. They don't have to be perfect. They're still going to look pretty cool. Okay. Now I'm going to go back the other direction. Just touching the top, touching the bottom, and touching the side of the orb next to you. If you're used to drawing the tangle perk, then it's really easy to get the overlapping part going on. But the shading is more problematic if you get the overlapping. And so I'm going to try, for me at least, not to do that. All right, now the next step is to put orbs in all of these little sections here. And again, I'm going to try to make them as big as I can within the space. Whoops. Trying not to do that. Right? These, I suppose, you can tuck in if you want to. Just take your time, don't get in a hurry. Relax those tense shoulders I know a whole bunch of you are dealing with right now. It makes a big difference. You can just relax a little bit. Some of these spots are going to be smaller, some will be larger. It's depending on the turning and all of that, and that's absolutely fine. They don't all need to be exactly the same. Just going to make the most perfect little orbs that we can, and we're going to take our time and do the best job we can. I finally came to the realization that the reason I struggle with this pattern is because I'm always in a hurry. Now, in the step out, Maria, excuse me, Maria has these little orbs all inked in with a little highlight in them, and then she fills these areas with little orbs too, and she just packs them in there and inks around them, and that makes the little band. What I discovered for me is that those little orbs I make a mess out of. Here's my sketch pad. I didn't do a horrible job, but they almost always get out of control, right? And so I never feel like I've done a very good job with those. They're all uneven and such. So that's not my preference. This is what it looks like in the step out, with these drawn in highlights and with little blacked in orbs here with highlights, and then with the little, orbs on the edges. So I did some variations here. I did my hatched line thing that looks really good. And then for my example, I used dots and dashes for that aura. And that works really well for me too. So I'm probably going to do one on one and the other on the other, whatever the sense that makes for us. And so the point I'm trying to make is that you can either ink these in black, or you can ink around them and make them white, right? And just shade them as little orbs. And that's a decision you need to make. You can't make them both black and ink around them. That's not going to work, which is, you know, duh. But still something that I wanted to do. Yeah. So that's the decision making that we're going to make right now. So I'm going to choose to, what am I going to choose to? I think I'm going to ink these in on this one. So let me do that. And I'm just going to leave a little sliver of highlight up at the top. Make sure my hair is not in this. It's waving around. Okay. Try to get those highlights in approximately the same spot. But again, it's Zentangle, so they don't really care about that. Okay. Well, that wasn't exactly in the right spot, was it? It's okay. No mistakes in Zentangle, guys. It gives you the freedom to, you know, have some oopses and have them be okay. There are no police in Zentangle. There's no Zentangle police coming to see if you do things right. The beauty of the Zentangle method is you don't have to make those determinations. You can do whatever you want to. There is a method to it, and the method has intentionality behind it, because there are artist block type things that come up. I was watching another video and talking about composition, and one of the things that the commenting is I just never know where to start. That's what's beautiful about Zentangle, is you always know where to start, right? You may not know exactly how it's going to turn out, which is beautiful and freeing, because you're not worried about your results other than trying to get a good result. You're not pre-planning. And the lack of pre-planning for some is a little scary. That's where you get the people that want to pencil everything in. And the reason for that is they're pre-planning. And I've done some pre-planning myself this month in these tiles, and that's okay. But the point of Zentangle is that you don't worry about all that extra stuff. The point of Zentangle is we don't bother to pencil stuff in because there's no mistakes. And so since you can't get it wrong, what is the point of all of that, right? That's the attitude that I try to approach this method with, is that there is meaning behind each one of those. They call the elegance of limitations or something like that. The fact that we draw the string, and that gives us a place to start, right? And the most choosing that we do is which tangle to draw in which spots. And when you don't add color and all of that, then you've got even less decision making. And the point of the method is to remove as much decision making as possible. Oh goodness, I guess brother's home. Can you stop barking, buddy? All right. Let's let Mari get in and say hi to him. Hi, baby.
Hey, Cyndee.
How was your day?
Good.
All right. I am recording. I will be talking to you here in just a few minutes, okay?
All right.
I love you. Okay. So this follows the step out. Now what I'm going to do over here, I think, is my straight up and down hatch lines in these border areas, these auras, just to give it a little bit of definition. Again, the orbs in here are difficult for me. I tend to, easy there, buddy. I tend to make a mess with them, so of course, I'm not exactly doing a great job here. Puppy. Thank you, bushy-tailed baby. And I will come back in with a PN and go over the outer edge of this, so that'll take care of all those stray pen marks. It really is the finishing touches that makes the difference, guys. That's as I have watched a few of the other videos that I have done, I have realized that really the only reason that I have a good outcome is because it's not because I draw better than anybody else. It's because I take a lot of time finishing my tiles. And so, yeah, it's something to think about. How fast do you want to get done? Or do you want to take your time and try for a beautiful outcome? And, you know, it's a personal choice. Sometimes you're not doing this for a great outcome. Sometimes you're just doing it to relax and you don't care, and that's also fine. If you just need to put pen to paper and sort of relax for a few minutes, that is great. So I'll put my dots and dashes in over here. And over there, I think I will ink in around the orb and leave the orb white or clear or whatever we're going to call that. This is just a pretty little ribbon pattern that just dresses up any tile. And it's nice and easy. Okay. I want to do this way. Why do I do that? Because I want to be able to see what I'm doing, and if it goes this way, then I can't see where I'm going, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that's dressed up. And now the last thing Maria does is she puts this little crescent highlight over on one side. And so I'll go ahead, since this is the one that's most like the original pattern, I'm going to go ahead and do that on this one, but it really does make the shading, well, interesting. It's just a little crescent. Just a little bit to one side. Puppy, if you could stop jumping up and down with that piece of wood, that would be excellent, buddy. Can you do that? Mommy's making a mess up here and she needs you to be a good boy. What? No, you can't chew up the art. Hi. Are you saying hi? Are you saying hi? Hi. Hi. What is it? Do you need to sit on Mommy's stuff? Is that what you're squeaking about? Well, go talk to your brother when he gets out, okay? Okay. Squeaky. Puppy, I know. Lie down. He's so pitiful. Ooh, that one was too big. I really have trouble getting these even and getting them to look right, and so this isn't usually my preference, but to to be true to the pattern. So all I changed on this from the original pattern was instead of orbs, I did these little hatch lines. And there. Okay. So that is one version, right? Now over here, I'm going to do basically the same thing, but change some things up the way that I prefer to do them. But as always, we start with the orbs. We're just going to pretend that's going off the page there, which it is. I should have let that be a little bit larger, but okay. There. All right, and then going this way. Remember to start your orbs on a line if you can. I was going to say it'll help you get them more even, but it's really to help with the straight pen marks. Wow, Cyndee, that was creative. Can you please feed the puppies before you get going on a game? Did you get all your work done today? Everything? Okay. Can you what?
Get my money.
What money?
The thing that, you remember the thing we said a long time ago about the A's at the end of the quarter thingy?
Yeah, it's not the end of the quarter.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it may be the end of the quarter, but it's not the end of the year.
We didn't say end of the year.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No.
Do you have a grade card that says Samaria's got these grades this semester?
Yes, it is our school.
Is this money that you're going to spend on a game?
Probably.
And why should my hard-earned money go to a game for you?
Because I earned it.
How did you earn it again?
Getting A's in class.
Do you have A's in all your classes?
All of them.
Yeah.
You said if I got A's in all my classes, you said I would get like some sort of bonus on top of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get A's in all my classes, but I still get the $5 from each A.
Do you? So how often are you expecting $5 every day that you come home with an A?
No. At the end of the quarter.
Not the end of the quarter.
If I don't have A's at the end of the quarter, then I get no money.
End of the semester, buddy.
What? You didn't say end of the semester.
I didn't say end of the quarter either.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Can we talk about this when I'm not trying to record a video? Okay, well, teenager break. So on this version, I am switching it out. Instead of making dark orbs, I'm making light orbs and inking around them. Okay, and if I need to round these out with jelly roll, I can at the end. No, River. No, ma'am. So just take your time, put your little orbs in. Do it this way or this way, it doesn't matter. It's just a little bit different look when you get finished. It's all up to you how you want to do that. One of the reasons why the dots and dashes for the border here will work so well is because we're doing the inked in part. And we're putting those little black button things in there. I love those. Those are some of my favorite things. This poor little guy needs some serious help. Let's see if we can help him a little bit with ink. Probably not, huh? And just do the best you can. Try relax. Relax those shoulders. Well, I've got little stars in there that I can see, but I'll wait until I can get my face up closer to it to finish those. And it may be that you guys can't even see those from the camera, but you know how that is. So hi to everybody. Thanks for the compliment on my ring, my jade ring. That's Alaskan jade, ginger. I got it on a trip to Alaska with my mom, the last trip we took together before she passed, and it's a great trip. Alaska is such an amazing place. I don't want us to drill there. I want us to keep that pristine the way we're trying to do. But I don't want to step on any crazy toes, so don't anybody get me going. Hi to my Nancy. How's Nancy? Both of my Nancys, Nancy Gregg and Nancy Pierce. And hi to my Barbs. Hi, Barbs. Both of my Barbs. Barbara Clark and Barbara... it'll come to me. And hi, Marilyn Blakely. Hi. I haven't spoken to you in a minute. And hi, Judy. You have been missed, my friend. I always appreciate your thoughtful comments and your perspective on things. So thank you for being a part of this community and the way that you are. So new members or old members or returning members, let's not throw that old word around too much. You are welcome here. If you're a beginner, you are welcome. Feel free to ask questions and comments, and if I don't answer one, I'm sure one of the other people will help you out, and we'll just see where we go. I am looking forward to being finished with our Inktober series. I have enjoyed it very much, but I'm looking forward to getting to pick my own tangles. And I've got several that I want to do, and so we'll have a lot of fun with that. All right, now the only thing left here is the dots and dashes. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, no, what? Here's your wood. Here's your big log. Here's your piece of wood. Look at that. Go chew on that. You think that'll work? Probably not. Okay, so now I'm going to do my little dots and dashes in here. So basically, I'm going to put, dude, stop walking around over here. I'm going to put these little blacked in orbs. I have room, oops, I have room to leave a highlight, I will. And then between them, I'm going to put little dashes, just like this. Well, that one wasn't so good, but they don't have to be perfect. It works out really well. If you can get them spaced approximately the same distance apart, that's nice, but it doesn't always work for me. And if you're working on cardboard or an off-color tile or something, you can highlight those with your jelly roll. You can use it on white too. I just prefer not to. I think it sort of ruins it. It's much better if you can put a natural one in with your ink pen as opposed to always depending on the jelly roll. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. I know, I'm just being me. It's okay. So who else do I need to say hi to? I need to have my tablet all set up with comments showing so that I can go back over and address the ones that I wanted to. You guys rock. I am ranking again. Sorry about that. I am ranking again for Zentangle with at least one video, and so I am so grateful. That would not be happening without you guys' help. It is so good to know that I have the core group out there that loves me so much that you would come back after all of this time and put up with me again. Right. So I don't want to put the little highlight crescent on this round. I want to leave that for shading. And, oh, I've got another side, don't I? I thought I was done, but no, I'm not. There we go. I was really disappointed in the way my art looked when I put it in yesterday's video. It wasn't overexposed. It's like they've dialed up all the contrast and saturation and vibrance settings to max. And even though I try to tone it down, I can't ever get it to look natural. And so it's frustrating because I don't like to change the art from what it is. I like it to look the way that it really is. And yeah, it's frustrating. Let's skip over here where we don't have that mess. Just make that, yeah, perfect. Nobody will ever know. Well, we'll know, won't we, guys? And I mentioned how grateful I was to you guys. The best group of people ever. And especially my members. Thank you guys so much. Okay, now, what do I want? Do I want another one underneath? Is that going to be too much? Or do I maybe want to... Let's think of something different to do. I'm going to put another aura on the outside of this, and it's going to be a little bit looser. This is an aura for separation and not necessarily for decorating, although we certainly can decorate it. But we got a lot of going on down there, and I don't want that to get involved up here. This is just whatever I'm going to put in the middle here to not let it overwhelm what's going on over here. So, well, I'm kind of thinking about hollabah without all the inking naturally, which would be really cool to just stretch that from place to place. What is that shoelace one? I haven't thought about using that in a while. We could just put a, you know, some tipple in, or some printemps, or could even put some crescent moon. But if we start getting too dramatic with the inside tangles, then we take away from these ribbon tangles. So I'm going to add another R on the outside of this while I think this through. Ooh, I could put some sand swirl in there and really overwhelm the tile. I do like sand swirl. Well, I don't know. So I'm going to shade while I'm thinking. Okay. Well, that's kind of crazy, but it'll work. So, graphite. Here's my pencil. Okay, so for these little guys, I am going to, on this side where the little highlight thing is, I'm going to put some nice dark graphite in there. I'm still going to use that crescent of graphite there to sort of round things up. It's one reason I don't like those little highlighted, drawn in things, these little things, is because, you know, I don't always get them in the right place, which makes the shading a little more difficult. And yeah. And for me, anything that makes the shading less difficult, that's a winner. Even though I learn good shading from NE, don't blame her for my Zentangle shading, because this is what relaxes me. I find that if I'm trying too hard with the shading, unless it's a special project, that it really stresses me out. I mean, light source, paying attention to the light source, and this one's getting more shadow than this one, and this one's shadow should be moving towards this way, and you know, it's a lot of thinking. So I tend to stick with the Zentangle shading most of the time, although I do like to do it in layers, and like she teaches me, and make it super dark. But that's just my preference and how I feel about the technical shading that she teaches, and so it's effective and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a lot. So I think I'm going to try graphite around the outer edge here. I don't know if this will work very well or not. It sort of takes up the whole space there. And I just don't know how good it will be, but we're going to give it a try and see. Now remember, if you're going to use an eraser, you want to be extra, extra gentle with your page or with your tile or whatever you're using. Erasing destroys the tooth of your paper if you're not careful, and so that's something you want to be aware of. Where is my little darling, my little mono zero? This is a Tombow mono zero eraser with a teeny tiny little tip, and that teeny tiny little tip is great for going into sections that you've gotten too much in, although I really should blend this before I go doing all of that. Okay, so tortillon, white tortillon, black tortillon. They're all black in the end, right? That's not the outer edge, that's the whole border, but okay, I can always lift some out. I do like how that sort of solidifies everything. Okay, let me blend out these edges. can sort of see what I mean about that. The placement being important and yet really hard to get in the right place. And again, I will go over that again. All right, I don't hate that. Let's do my misshapen friend over here. See what kind of trouble we can get into. And I'm going to have to put some shadowing here, which is what I meant about the overlap. But see, I'm still going to put more here, so. Now these little ones, if you've got enough room, you can put graphite to one side like you're doing here. Same side, please. I may not care about light source, but that would be silly. Just orb that up too. If you guys have puppies or kitties that I haven't mentioned on here, you need to give me a shout out in comments. Tell me what you've got, what kind of pets you have, what their names are. So on the off chance that I can actually remember in the next video, I can shout them out too. Or really weird them out and say, amigo, 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 come here. I really want to freak them out. The puppy likes to play mind games. Tangle likes to play mind games. And so I like to play them back with him. And like some of you, there are certain things that cannot play on video without getting them all wound up. Like if there's a siren from a ambulance or police car or something. They do enjoy getting head up and singing. Simba is a singer, so he really likes when the crew gets together and sings with him. So, you know, I like to sing with him too. I like to change pitch and see if he will do it. If he will change to match me. He likes that. He likes that. It's kind of a game. Oh, we've got some weird stuff going on here, but I think it's going to work all right. Okay. Black tortillon. And if your orbs are too small for that, you know, just get a little bit of color on them and go with it. Don't sweat it. Okay. All right, so I'll definitely be shading in there again, at least 2 more times, just on the edges, just to give that some depth. But that's where I've got. I think I am going to probably regret adding, but we'll add some hollabah, and I'm going to do my weird sort of thing. I'm just going to connect these two with some hollabah, and I'm going to sort of make it curved, but you, of course, don't have to do that. Maybe like this. Just sort of make it like a bridge. And I'll put one over here. Well, the pen will help that mess. And so they just look a little funky. I like funky hollabah. Ooh, that one got out of control. So what can we do about that? Let's put one here. And let's put one down here. And sort of lost that one in the translation. That's going to be great. I've got some interesting shapes here. Oh, this is the one that I was worried about. Let's do this. I'm going to make that guy split. All right, and oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Maybe one more. Okay, so I'm out of storage room on my phone. I'm not going to finish this whole thing with you guys. I am just going to finish putting in this last strand of hollabah. And then I'll do a lot of shading. I may or may not ink in these extra portions. I may put some fill in there. I'm not sure yet, so we'll see what happens. You guys have fun with Ornamato. It is a really cool tangle, and I am really appreciative that you guys spent some time with me today, almost an hour, and I am going to see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being with me today.